Hi and welcome to another book review video. Today we are reviewing this book called Once Upon a Word. It is a word origin dictionary for kids, building vocabulary through etymology, definitions, and stories. I was really happy when they offered me this book to review for free. I have to give that disclaimer that I did receive the book for free, but I did choose it. I am offered a selection of books each week, and I choose the ones that I am interested in reviewing, and so I did choose this one. I am not obligated to give a review. They just give the books to me hoping that I will, and I am certainly not obligated to give a positive review. I am just giving you my 100% honest thoughts and opinions about the books. I actually do have some videos that I make about, I call them my English lessons, and in those videos, you can check them out on my channel. They are in the folder or the playlist called English Lessons, I think. Anyway, they are videos where I take certain phrases or words, and some of them might be words that you know, some might be words you've never heard of, or maybe phrases that have not really been much in use, but giving you sort of the origin of where those came from. Those are some videos that I have already been doing, and so when I saw this offered to me, I thought, great, I might be able to use it to make some more of those videos, use it for some of my research for some of those videos. Now, this is meant for children, so it's probably a little more dumbed down from the typical words and phrases that I have been putting in those English lesson videos. Let's just take a look at it and see. I don't see that it necessarily gives a age range anywhere of, like, you know, the targeted age range. I'm not seeing that anywhere. Let's see, you can buy this book for $18.99 US dollars. The author has been writing about entomology for more than 10 years. It says that she has a master's in journalism and mass communications and a BA in English literature. There's a lot in the beginning defining word etymology and stuff that just sort of, you know, it's an English lesson, like what you would learn. I don't know what they're teaching in English these days, but I know they're not teaching it the same way they used to when I was in school. My children have never even heard of a word diagram, so I honestly don't know. I mean, for a while there, they were teaching the way words sound rather than how they're spelt, and there was a lot of people that couldn't spell for a while because that's how they were being taught. I know they keep changing up how things are taught in school, and so what I learned, and I'm 41, maybe 42 by the time this goes up, I learned cursive writing and how to diagram sentences, and they're just not teaching that anymore. So I don't know how relevant any of this is to how children are being taught now, because, I mean, yeah, I have children, but I'm not sitting in a classroom anymore. Alright, the word bamboozle, I did use this word already in one of my videos, and so I'm just going to compare, like, the research that I did on the word bamboozle, and I put it in my video that I made. How does it compare to what I'm seeing in here? It just means to bamboozle someone is to trick them. And here, it says entomologists aren't quite sure where it came from, but some suggest that it came from the Scottish slang words like bombays or boompays, meaning to perplex. I'm probably saying those wrong. And others think it came from a French word I'm not even going to try to pronounce, which means to make a baboon of someone or to make them look silly and foolish. So, I mean, the etymology of a word is just basically where it came from, and the English language is full of words that came from all other languages. It's kind of a hodgepodge. So, alright, about this, my thoughts on this book, I think it does seem like it is geared towards children. It's got the colors in it. There's not really any pictures at the beginning of each new letter. There's a picture, but, I mean, there's no point in there being pictures all throughout here. But I mean, it's A through Z. It goes through quite a few words for each letter, and it just, it tells you what the word means and what the origin of it is. What language it was derived from. Now, as far as do I think any children are going to pick this book up for fun and want to read it? No, they're not. It is geared towards children, I understand that, but there's no children that I know of. I don't think the average child is just going to say, hey, I want this book. I want to learn where words came from. That's not going to happen. It would be interesting to me as a publisher to know the whole process of, like, how did this author query the publisher about this book idea? Like, how did they come up with it? What made the publisher decide to publish it? Because normally a publisher is going to be looking at, is there enough of a target audience to, justify the cost that they're going to put into creating a book? And a lot of my authors don't really understand that when it comes to, like, what royalty percentage they're being offered, or whether I'm accepting their book at all, or, how much of a investment am I going to put into it. Like, some of the books I might not put our ISBN numbers on there because the ISBNs cost money. Some of them, if I think that, the author has a good story to tell, if I want to help them get it out there, but I don't think the book is going to sell enough for me to make back what I invest in it, my choice as a publisher is that, see, we publish through, it used to be CreateSpace, but now it's KDP through Amazon, and you can choose to use their free ISBN number, and obviously it's free, it doesn't cost anything. So a lot of different decisions go into the books that I choose to publish as far as how much money I am going to invest in making that book. And so an author might say, well, why does my book list on Amazon that it's independently published, but some of the other ones say that they're published by Dream and Big? Well, that's why. That's one of the decisions that I make as a publisher. That's what goes into, I don't want to invest that extra money for the ISBN number if I don't think the book is going to sell very much. You might think, well, why choose to publish that book anyway? It's because I'm not in it for the money. I want to at least try to recoup back the investment that I put into the book so that I'm not going into the hole. But that doesn't happen on every book, and I know that going into it. But I still choose to publish the books anyway, and I just might cut some corners on some of the expense that goes into it, such as I might do the cover design myself rather than paying my cover designers, stuff like that. Anyway, that's kind of off the topic of what I was saying here, but just as a publisher, I'm wondering what made them decide that they would sell enough copies of this book to make it worth it. I think it's a great book, don't get me wrong, but most publishers are not going to publish books that they don't think they're going to turn a profit on, and I'm just wondering, like, where's the market for this? Homeschool parents, I'm sure, who can use it for their English lessons, teachers in class maybe. I just don't see it being a thing that the average parent or the average child is going to pick up thinking that they're going to sit down and read it, because they're just not. So I think there's definitely a market out there. I think it's probably a small market, but for those who can benefit from it and who can use it, I think it's a great book to use in your English lessons with your children, if that's what you're doing. If anyone else can think of a market for this that I'm overlooking or missing, just for my own curiosity, I would like to hear it. If the author of this book is watching this video, let me know. Just as a publisher myself, I'm curious what approach was taken, like, with the publisher, what the marketing strategy is. You might can teach me something in that regard, because maybe there's some books that come across my notice, or some potential, some manuscripts that get submitted to me that I'm wondering, what in the world where's the market for this book? I would like to know. As an author, I think when the authors submit a book to a publisher for consideration, they really should do their research and be able to present it as part of their query to in a way that makes the publisher really interested in your book. So the authors, they're not always doing that. Like when they submit to me, I get a lot of new authors, people who have written the book, but they have no idea what the target audience is. They have no idea what they're going to do for any marketing strategy or anything like that. And if I'm looking at it and I'm going, I just don't see the market for this, and if the author doesn't know a market for it, we're going to pass that book up because, the authors need to be doing that that's part of your research as an author, part of what you bring to the table when you submit to a publisher. And so this lesson that I'm giving you right now has nothing really to do with the book I'm reviewing. I understand that, but just if anyone out there is interested in some tips on how to approach a publisher, I guess maybe you can take that as a tip that you need to know your target audience and some marketing strategy. You need to present that to your publisher when you submit a book. And so I'm just really curious what that was with this author when they submitted to their publisher. Just as a personal curiosity for myself, it has no bearing on my thoughts on this book, because I actually think it's a really great book, and I'm going to be giving it 5 stars. I probably should have said that already. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.